Hi, hello, hi, and welcome to all our hearts and minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good, the bad, the concerning, and uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, Kimmy, our passionate heart.
Yeah.
And then there's me, Jenae, our mind and chronic overthinker. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Okay, hello everybody. We're back again for a new episode here in April. Post Easter season, spring is sprung. So we're back again and ready to talk. But before we get into the episode and all the topics, we have to do our checkup. So, my friend, how was your week?
My week was okay. It was nicer weather, so it was actually it was pretty good,
Yeah.
Some things are happening at the work, the work is working, you know what I'm saying? It's working my
Yeah.
last nerve, I'll tell you that much. But for the most part, it was okay. Okay week. I can't complain, I'm one more year around the sun.
It's a birthday in a couple days.
Yep, in a couple days. So, I'm looking forward to the following week. I can't say I'm not. So,
you doing anything special for your birthday? You gonna go out? You and hubby
really,
or something?
Not really. Not that I know of, at least. Not really. I don't think so.
It might be a surprise.
Maybe. I'm hoping, that I could eat a little cake right now. I could eat a little cake.
Yes.
But for the most part, no, I don't have a plan.
You don't have anything set?
No.
I'm sure something will pop around.
I hope so, I don't want it to feel like just another day, but
no. And I'm sure you're good at that, making sure.
But then there's some years where I'm just like, bruh, I don't want to do nada. I don't want
You know what? You know one thing I'll do, the most basic thing I'll do, even if I'm not really feeling like doing anything, is I just go get a massage.
Yeah, right?
Because that's an hour. I mean, whether you're working or not, you could still slip it in there.
Right?
It's just an hour. Max I'll do is like 45 minutes to an hour for a massage anyway. I don't know. I don't think I need to be in there any longer than that.
Right? True.
But yeah,
after
that's just
while,
like a nice.
Okay, get your hands off me.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like at first, before, because I was late. I was late in the game with massages. So one of the first ones I did, it was with my friend. It was a birthday thing, but she was treating me for my birthday. And I was like, shoot, I never done this before. I was definitely 30 by then. Like it was late, and I'm telling you, late in the game before I got him. Because I was always like, oh, the idea is like, it sounds good, but then I know strangers touching me it just would mess me up, right? But then I'm like, listen, people have been doing this for ages, centuries.
Yeah.
It's like it's a normal thing. I just have to get over my own little.
It's true, but you know what? Initially, the reason why I got into it is because I had a really bad crick in my neck, and I couldn't shake it, and didn't matter what I did, and it just. I don't know, it just seemed to spread, and so I had to actually get a massage, an actual therapist to come and pull out my neck so that anyways, so after that point I was like, nah man, we're gonna go to this massage stuff real quick. We have to do this right here because it does help, especially since I'm at a computer all the time, so my posture is horrible for that.
Yes.
And so it's like you automatically will get a crick in your neck if you don't actually go and get a massage and get all those hard, tense areas, right?
Yes.
Worked out. But listen, now why if it touched me after hours, seeing
back to the point. Yeah, 60 minutes. Yeah, no, seriously.
It's a wrap.
I'm good because after a while they start trying to get into your scalp. I'm like, I'm a black woman. Back up.
Okay,
I don't want no scalp massage
in there and stuff. Come on,
the elbow, the stone. That's actually a good idea. You know what? You should do that if you have time. Let's do that on me. That will be your birthday gift from me. Now that I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute.
It is great, but honestly, I've done an hour and a half, and after
I would never do that.
No. Okay,
I'm
loose. Thanks. It's loose. Thanks.
Okay, so had a little glip there, but we're back. We were talking about Kimmy's upcoming birthday. I was suggesting treating herself with a massage if she doesn't have any other plans with a hubby and family. And
Mm-hmm.
we were saying the 90-minute session is too long. The sweet spot, for me, the
The
sweet
speed
spot is
like
actually
an hour.
45 minutes. 45 minutes is when I'm like, we can wrap this up, but I'll give it, they usually do 30 to 60 um time slots.
I feel like at 30 is too short, and 45 it's like, okay, I need just a little bit. But an hour is like usually whenever I would go, I'd do an hour,
Yes.
and it's like deep kind of tissue they're working out in my
Yeah,
shoulder
I use the
area.
hard one. The first is the soft one. It's too soft. I'm like,
Nah,
no.
man, not bother with it.
Just it's okay if I'm a little bit sore. Where's your go-to? Do you have a go-to spot for your massages?
Well, I used to the same place where I went to. It's over by Highway 7 in McCowan by my parents.
Okay.
Um, and they do all sorts of stuff. So they also do nails. That's where I went for my wedding,
Yeah.
to get my
It's not
nails
the
done.
Gold Spa though, right?
No, 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 no,
Mm.
no, no, no. It's not Ghost Spa. I'm forgetting the name. It's not.
Okay,
I
but it's
just know where it is.
somewhere up in
It's like,
Markham and they do good work. Okay, nice. No,
no,
because
yeah, and it's really like convenient because it's in a plaza that has other stuff. However,
Mhm.
it's easy to get in and out of that plaza. So anyhow, I like them and I've used them a few times for
Yeah, I
like
was just
other
asking because I was
services.
curious. Because
But
honestly, the
sometimes
last
they're a
place
little too dainty. Like I need you to get in there. You know what I mean?
too dainty. Like, don't. It's okay. Hard is you can
You're
apply
okay.
pressure.
Yeah, I'll tell them it's okay to go. Yeah, it's okay. Because
Yeah. So
I guess they want to see your tolerance,
yeah, they do
but
because there are some people they say they want hard and then they're complaining. So I
right?
get.
The hard is too hard. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah. Back to the back
Yeah,
to the
so
things
back to
now.
your birthday. It's your birthday. Big
Yes.
things are going and you're figuring it out, but
Yes.
definitely have to do something. At the very least, we'll
Yeah.
see.
When you get to these ages, it's like whatever's clever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. I feel
But
you.
anyhow, how you doing, girl? Let's tap in with you. How you doing, girl?
I am actually good. You know, just work is working, and I'm trying to just be optimistic about things because
Mm-hmm.
I never say where I work on here, but I do work in a tech company, and things are things are scary in the tech world right now. Let's just say. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
haven't talked about any, but like Meta's did layoffs, Snapchat's done layoffs. Some of the other Oracle, I heard, is a big news, big
Mm-hmm.
tech layoffs. So, and a little bit like kind of like ooh, getting kind of
Right.
close, getting kind of fiery. But you just have to, God will provide regardless. I just have to do
Mm-hmm.
my thing, keep learning, and be
That's right.
myself, and keep it moving. But otherwise, I'm okay. My family's doing good.
That's
um
awesome.
I
Mm-hmm.
was talking to my niece. She's on vacation with her husband and her kids in Aruba, and I was like, "Damn, it's
Ooh,
my
girl.
birthday's next month. I might have to do one of my birthday trips." My mom was
Okay.
getting on my case about that, but I'm like, as long as I'm back by my birthday, she should chill out. So
True.
I'm
True.
probably gonna do 1 week. I was just debating whether I just want it to be a relaxing beach situation or something more adventurous. I'm feeling for something a little bit more adventurous because you could grab a beach vacation anytime. You
That's
know what I
true.
mean?
That's true. That's true.
But I'll see. I have to decide by this week, so I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted where my next adventure is for my birthday week, but definitely going to be going somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
I was toying with Tokyo.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was toying with just Tokyo. Just Tokyo alone. Nowhere else in Japan. Just because I'll probably only be gone a week. So it can only be Tokyo. It can't be anything else. And maybe
True.
go back to Japan another time with another destination in mind. But it can only be Tokyo. Dip my toe in it and maybe
Mm-hmm.
go back. But I don't know. We'll see.
True.
And now with flight prices, actually, the fuel, we're gonna be talking about like update on what's going on in the Iran
Mm-hmm.
war with the US and stuff, but they already started. Like I knew they were gonna start adding fuel surcharges, but I heard in the news this week that WestJet is adding it a fuel surcharge. It's about $40 to their ticket prices. And Air Canada Vacations, not Air Canada flights alone, but Air Canada Vacations is also tacking on in the price package. It's not going to just say fuel surcharge like some of them do. It's just going to be kind of baked into the price. So ticket prices for travel are going to go up because of what's going on with the fuel prices, unfortunately. So that's why I'm like, ooh, better get what I can now. So it's going to be tough. Yeah. But otherwise, God is good.
Right? All the time.
All
I'm
right.
telling
So
you.
sounds like we're in good spirits.
Yes,
Nothing holding
yes,
us back. Just lifing and
yes,
keeping it moving. It's a
yes.
blessing.
And a lot
Um
of sunshine, and that's
it's
important here in Canada. I
yeah.
mean, we
We've
have
had
a
a
lot of
little bit. I
cold
think it's
weather.
still kind of springy. It's a lot
It
of rain.
is, it is. But the fact that I see more sunshine, because in the winter it just seems so artificial
You're
when
right.
you see some of the sunshine there, like in those really cloudy, moody days. And so
Mm.
it's nice to have it. I feel like getting out. It's nice to see people getting out.
Yeah.
Like everybody, everywhere you turn, is somebody out and about doing things.
Yeah, people
So
are out walking more and
yeah,
stuff.
it's nice. It's nice. But
Okay.
everything is all right over yes, sir.
Okay, so before we jump into the topics, just want to thank our listeners for tuning in again with us.
Yes, thank you.
Wherever you listen to us, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, wherever you find us, continue to follow the podcast, subscribe. We try to stay updated with our episodes, stay in
Yup,
touch with
yup.
us, and rate the podcast 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, whatever. But rate
Right?
it, follow, and keep in touch with us. So thanks
This is it.
again for tuning in.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to start with something I didn't know, but it's good to know that it's a thing. April is International Black Women History Month.
Can you
Something
believe?
I just learned this week. And I
Okay.
am, ashamed to say I didn't know that April was that day. But
Mm,
it is, and it's the 10th anniversary. Again, more shame,
hmm
shame, shame on me for not knowing this.
That's okay. That's okay. I didn't really know it either until which I'm gonna shout her out, which is Jessie Wu, where she always makes that commentary. But I actually looked into it when she started to say it in the month of April, and I was like,
Mm.
she's really pushing this whole Black Women's History Month.
Yeah, what I love,
So
well, the thing is, the joke with Jessie Wu until I
yeah,
knew this
that's
was
the
is
truth.
that she always adds Black women to whatever month it
Yeah,
is. So if it's Black
that's the
History
truth.
Month, she'll say Happy Black Women's History Month, Black History Women's Month.
Right?
If it's Caribbean month,
I know.
Happy Black Women's Caribbeans month. If it's Latino month, Happy Black Women's Latino. Like, so that's kind of like a running joke.
I
So
know.
that's why when you said, I was like, "Are you sure?" But then I was like, "Oh yeah, April. It's official. April. It's official."
Yeah, she was really pushing it. I was like, okay, girl, okay. Well,
So it started. It started in 2016 to focus specifically on the global contributions of Black women. It originated from Dr. Shalini and the Black Women's History Month Committee. And it had a lot to do. The Black Women's, this is a quote from the Black Women's Collective on X. Say, Black women have been the architects of movements, but the footnotes of history. April
Mm,
is about moving the footnote to the headline, which is very poignant.
okay.
And it's also pretty much, and I know it's been a long time, but I know what a couple years ago, I think we did an episode on intersectionality, especially with March. I think it was a Women's Month or Women's Month. I think we had this topic. It's been a while. I can't remember. But we talked about
Mm-hmm.
intersectionality. So it isn't just, a part two of Black history. No, it's about intersectionality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because unfortunately, like the quote says, I just said, like when Black women's contributions to whether
Mm-hmm.
it's Black history or women's history kind of get pushed to the side, and or if
Mm-hmm.
not pushed to the side, it's not brought to the forefront. We focus on
Mm,
other stories. And so it was, this month was kind of launched, I guess,
mm-hmm.
to discuss that nuance and just bring Black women's stories to the forefront, which is amazing.
Yes, very much so.
And we're going to kind of weave that theme into. I didn't talk about my messed up neck, guys. I said, "How are you doing?" I'm like, otherwise, besides my messed up neck where I slept super bad, I'm okay, I
Mm-mm.
guess.
I
but I'm in
hear you.
pain.
I feel
That's where
you.
that came from. I just turned my neck the wrong way.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Mm-mm.
so yeah, so that this theme is gonna be kind of woven into this episode, and we just wanted to shout out all our black women
Yes.
sisters around the world
Yes.
listening this month always, but particularly this month. So we're going to move into our next headline, which is Chris Brown and Usher have announced a R&B co-headlining tour that's going to be happening this year. So R&B for Usher Raymond and the Brown and Chris Brown, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of clever. Um and they're going to be touring around North America, so US and Canada. It's not international.
Mm.
And it was obviously mixed with anytime Chris Brown's name is brought up, there's mixed reactions. There's still a lot of, I think for the most part, like he's fine, especially like, it's weird. It's this weird misogyny. Misage noir, which is misogyny against particularly black women. And it's weird because it's mostly black women. Like,
Okay.
it's just something I've noticed, and it's been hard for me to place it. But now I'm like, no, personally, I'm fine if you. I don't care enough to have a problem with anybody wanting to support Chris Brown. I'm good. I'm good on Chris Brown. I acknowledge that he's worked his butt off. He's,
Yeah,
hard work.
yeah, yeah.
He's a hardworking entertainer. He's talented. Every once in a while, he
Yeah,
has a really
yeah,
good
yeah.
album. But that's just me. I'm good. Like, I'm not getting
Well,
excited for Chris Brown.
I'm not, I'm like, I would be excited to go see Usher. I would.
Mhm.
I'm never gonna support nor endorse Chris Brown. I love his music. I will
Yeah,
say that much. I love
yeah,
his music, and I'm not gonna take his accolades away from him
no,
because he has worked his ass off to come back from where his career took a real dive, right?
hmm
But for me, if you continue that behavior till present, it's not okay. And so I understand that the black community supports Chris Brown a lot, especially black women, which I
hmm
find the irony in all of that is just mind blowing. But cool, whatever's clever. But I myself can't put my hard earned money in Chris Brown's pocket. I just can't.
yeah,
I feel like in some small way, I would be supporting his behavior and I would
hmm
be allowing him to have and maintain a lifestyle where he can behave that way. Right.
hmm
And I just, nah. I mean, nah. If I hear him on the radio, if I see
yeah.
him in
Oh,
a,
good. That's fine. Yeah.
that's all good and everything. And if I see him perform at, like, say, an award show or
hmm
whatever, cool, whatever, clever. But I would only be going to such a concert to see Usher. And to me, this might be controversial, but I think that Usher is a better performer than Chris
hmm
Brown. Sorry. I
Here's what
understand Chris Brown. Yeah,
he's
he could pop and drop it
he's
like
backflipping and doing the
all
most.
right, that's great. But in terms of choreographed energy, for I don't know. I don't know. I've
Well,
seen.
here's what I'll say. Personally, I don't know who this is helping. Like, I don't know where Usher is in his financial, but the man has been working and doing tours back to back for the past at least 3 years. Because I think I saw him, maybe not last. Was it last year? Maybe the year before last. When was my nephew born? He's turning 2, so when he was just 2 years ago.
Okay.
Um, that's where I saw he was touring. He was doing a big world, and that was international. So he's doing Europe, North America,
Oh,
everywhere.
okay.
And previous to that, he had almost a year long the residency in Vegas. So he was
Right.
in.
See.
So he's been putting in work for a minute. So I don't know if he's trying to be like this is his last hurrah. I don't know, but for some reason I'm like Usher, like give it. Well, I guess it was 2 years since he did that last one, but I
Yeah, but
mean,
he doesn't need to roll with Chris Brown.
he doesn't have exactly. He had that tour he did that I saw was very successful. It was very good. He sounded good. He looked amazing. He had story. He had everything. It was wonderful. So I was just like, it was interesting that he's touring with Chris Brown. But R&B, maybe they're trying to bring back male R&B because women are pretty much leading in terms of new R&B for the
Women
past.
are pretty much leading in every category.
Yeah, they're kind of running that section of music, so I don't know if this is
they're
some kind of
music.
Yeah, you can say that. Actually, you
Pretty
can say
much.
that.
Well, in terms of industry,
I've heard that in the conversations. That's pretty
yeah,
accurate.
yeah. I mean, there aren't
So
enough, but
right?
no. But my thing with this is what I find very peculiar. Isn't Chris Brown and, like I told you, didn't Chris Brown and Usher come to blows, and now we're doing concerts together? Usher, you
Yeah,
don't
so
need this.
it makes me wonder, yeah, all of that. Like
I don't know, and on top of that, like, again, this could be controversial, but I feel like Usher is more of a lover of women. I feel
yes.
like Chris
Yes.
Brown is too, but he also objectifies women in a very
Hmm.
subtle way.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how to monopolize off of
Oh, he
being an
does it very
attractive
well.
man.
Hmm.
And I don't know, it's just
Did you
I
see
don't
for
know.
his last tour, one of the features of his last tour was, I think they were charging at least 1,000. I
Yeah,
don't know
and
if it was
he
more.
had women all over him.
Taking pictures, the VIP experience was he would take pictures if you pay like 1,000 or 1,500. I can't remember,
Hmm.
but USD. Um,
Right? But
to have that.
it just seems so pornish. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it was raunchy,
And
but
when I see Usher, it's like he's serenading a woman, or he's, I don't know.
mhm.
Now,
That's
don't
the
get me wrong, Usher has his problems, okay?
yeah.
He might just have the herpes. I don't know. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know. Okay, let's put that on allegedly. But
Hmm.
he's out here at least projecting a
Yes.
kindness and love of
Yes,
women, you know?
he's the romantical, the
Yes, the
romance. He gives the
romanticals.
romance. It's classy. Um,
Yes, and Chris Brown is raunchy, like raunchy porn raunchy. Like, I don't know.
yeah. So, yes, that was announced. There's mixed vibes, but I'm sure it will be a successful tour. I don't doubt that it should go fine for them. They're two A-list singers and performers who've been around for a long time and have proven to be strong performers. So, yeah, well, good luck on that, guys. Um, the next thing is
Interesting
Coach.
to see how that's gonna work out, but okay.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Hopefully, there's no drama. But that's all I could hope for. We'll see. So the next story we wanted to talk about is Coachella. Some
Hmm.
Coachella. We're in the second week of Coachella, but the first week of Coachella, um, everybody was talking about Justin Bieber's performance. There's a lot of performances, great performances. They always are. Like Sabrina Carpenter was a big one. The Clips had a big one. FKA Twigs. Coachella people bring the big
Hmm.
dogs and they bring their A game. So, but the big story that came out of the first weekend was Justin Bieber's set, where he brought, it was him and his laptop pretty much, and he brought
Hmm.
some guest singers out, like he brought Wizkid and Thames to sing their big song.
Hmm.
He brought some other people out too, but some people, and for me, here's what was unique, because I saw his Grammy performance, his last album, Swag. It was called Swag.
Hmm.
But contrary to the name of the title of that song, that album, it's a very what would I say, low key, organic, not overproduced, very natural sounding instruments and stuff,
Hmm.
type of album. And it was very vulnerable and authentic, and kind of like original Justin Bieber as a child with his acoustic
Hmm.
guitar type of feeling,
Hmm.
right? But as a grown man, talking about his growth, the love of his life, his wife,
Hmm.
all these things, right? So it was actually a really touching album. The title, I feel, is misrepresenting, but maybe that's the dichotomy. We'll see.
Hmm.
So he performed at Coachella with his laptop, playing in the backdrop, playing the original videos. Sorry, the original songs, whether it's a music video of the song when he was a teenager or a child,
Hmm.
or yeah, or the organic when he was like a music video, or just an organic video he did of himself singing, and that's on YouTube.
Hmm.
for what I saw when I saw the clips, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's natural, and it was a natural progression to kind of what he did on the Grammys, where he just
Mm-hmm.
like mixed the song with his laptop and just performed it with a guitar with just his boxers on, and
Right.
just again a stripped down version of himself. So I
Mm-hmm.
felt it was fitting for the album that he just released. Then it clicked from other conversations is that it might have been for legal reasons because he had sold
Mm-hmm.
his catalog a couple years ago, I believe. I don't remember who, but and he was also and because he said the main reason for him selling his catalog is he owed Scooter Braun, the guy that Taylor Swift also hates, some money based on just some bad dealings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the reason. But what's interesting is that I didn't know some people did not appreciate that performance. For
Hmm.
me, I drew a lot of connections. It made sense. But some people were like underwhelmed because if you think about it, people who go to Coachella are paying at least $400 just to get there in the place, to get the tickets, more or less your accommodations and food and whatnot, right? So they wanted a show.
Yeah, but you have a whole. Come on, Coachella people, listen. I understand that you wanted a little bit more from Justin Bieber, but you had the whole of the Coachella. Like you're acting like that's the only
Yeah, there's other
celebrity.
perform acts. Yeah.
There's other acts, there's other celebrities, there's other performers that are going to come on there. You're going to get your money's worth. Like calm down. This is an artistry that was executed very well because of the legalities. I think that Justin Bieber handled it like a true pro. Like he
Yeah.
thought that through and he still made it worth it. And it's like I think Justin Bieber is at a point in his life where the performative effort that
Right.
everybody expects from him is not what he's giving. And so you are now introduced to the new Justin Bieber.
He wants to be an
And
artist. He doesn't want to be a
he
product.
is an artist.
He doesn't want to
He's
be a
always
product.
been an artist.
Yeah, that's true. He's going back to.
Okay, he's going back to his yeah, he's
Mhm.
going back to his roots, to that young boy that was sitting on the city block on the city street with his guitar in hand creating songs.
Mhm.
Okay, so now he's not that little boy anymore. He has more to his artistry through his family, through his growth, through being a father. Like there's more to him now.
Right.
And so that performative Justin Bieber, on the stage like when he was, his late teens, that's
Mhm.
yesteryear. Let it go, people. You're acting like you're at Coachella and that's the only one performer and that's all you went there for and that's how much money you spent. Like miss me with it. It was still and when I think of Coachella, like I almost equate it to like Woodstock.
Yeah. It
And
was.
so
It started
Woodstock,
kind of. Yeah.
right, that's where it kind of rooted from, right? But when you look at Woodstock and you find out more history behind it, it was of artistry. It wasn't just music, right? So there was a whole bunch of things that were going on that pertained to the arts as well. So I just thought, people are always going to be so
Yeah. There's
critical of
always.
the man, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter what he's going to do. Somebody's gonna have something to say. Now, I'm not defending him by any chance, because Justin Bieber does move in some mysterious ways as of late.
Mm-hmm.
However, that was his artistry, and I think that the people at Coachella should just appreciate it for what it is, and keep it moving. On top of that, it was absolutely like in terms of legalities, why is
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't own any of his music and he has no royalties to any of that music. So why would he want to further line the pockets of music that no longer is his? He's going to perform his new music because his new music is what he owns.
Mm-hmm.
So when he performs that, any royalties that come out of it is going directly into his pocket. That's the whole point. You think the man sold his whole, you know how much damn hits this man had? You think he sold it for nothing? No, he sold it for a reason. He wanted his freedom to do exactly what he
what
did
he's doing right
at
now.
day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
He
poetic.
sold his whole catalog for his freedom.
Very poetic.
So, and I thought it was very poetic on how he did that. I thought so too. And it was nice to go back. And I think Justin Bieber wants to go back to the times where they were good again. You know, anyways, but you know what? I think he's going to be just fine.
Oh yeah.
And everybody is super critical of him no matter what. It doesn't matter what he does. Everybody has something to say, just like every other artist. Right? So, I think maybe we need to be less critical and more accepting of his artistry. Maybe that could work. You know what I mean? Like, it's Coachella. What do you expect this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's for originality and artistry, and I still think there was something they didn't get nothing. That's the thing is, they're trying to
yeah,
make
like
it
come
seem
on
like
now.
So yeah, kudos to him. I don't
Yeah.
know if he was headlining both weekends, but yeah. The other story that came out of Coachella before we move on is so Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry did their hard
Oh
launch of their
gosh.
relationship, I guess. They were cuddled up
Justin
during
is out
Justin
in these
Bieber
streets. He left his
but Justin
he left
Bieber's
it he left his wife to go into with Katy Perry now. Okay, go on.
so he's living his best life as a single man, I guess. He's out at Coachella. Everybody's calling it a midlife crisis. How old is he? Is he past 45? Let me check.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, he's not that young.
No, he's
I
not.
think he was young when he became prime minister of
Yeah.
Canada, but he was a prime minister of Canada for a long ass time.
for
So
almost 10 years.
it's giving midlife crisis.
Yeah, it definitely is because now you go find yourself with Katy Perry, and she has all sorts of allegations about her right now.
Oh yeah,
So,
the Ruby Rose. It's
right?
not, her name's not Ruby Rose, is it? It's
Yeah,
something
it's
Rose.
Ruby Rose. That's what's her name.
Ruby Rose was a it girl of a while back. I can't remember when it was, but she was definitely, I saw her everywhere. She was she's an Australian, I guess I can say, actress.
Yeah.
She was a model. She looks like a model, but she kind of crossed over. And she was known because she was very beautiful eyes, and she kind of had the like, masculine androgynous look.
Yeah.
So that was like made her people were like, she was an it girl. So
yeah. Well, Katy Perry definitely thought that she was the man in this situation because she fully attacked and sexually abused this woman in a club. But my point is not that story. My point is Justin Trudeau, you jumped on the wrong one, bro. Because it's like the Trudeau name has so much weight here in Canada and
from his
around
father,
the world.
not necessarily him.
Not even him, to be quite honest. His father was the one that kind of developed a legacy. But so internationally, Trudeau is known, and you're going to be attached to a woman who, basically, from what it sounds like, allegedly just took off her panties and sat on some woman's face. Like, are you for real?
And she's just
what you're attaching yourself to, Trudeau. This is
and
the
Katy exactly and for the past 5 years, I think Katy Perry has just done a lot outside of those allegations with Ruby Rose, which is obviously
disgusting.
Still, she's just done a lot of weird things. She's just very I don't know what to say. Being in Hollywood for a long time can get you acting weird, I guess. But she's done a lot of there's a lot of weird stuff that people in Hollywood do. But she's just, I would say the extra layer is cringe.
Yeah, very
the extra layer I have with her is cringe, and just the way Trudeau's been acting, and just even the fact that he's connected himself with her is a little bit cringe itself too. Yeah, he's 54.
The debut, really. Katy
and Perry. I think somebody said they saw him with a joint or something. I was like, so you want to go back to your young days?
Oh my god!
You can't do you after you are a president or a prime minister, you're always an ex prime minister and prime minister or president, and you should act accordingly.
Definitely be looked at, and you
have to act accordingly. And he just wants to go back to being fuckboy Trudeau.
Yes, pretty much. And
But anyway,
Trudeau. He was the
yeah.
wrong
So
one.
they hard launch is official.
Wrong
Not a
one.
couple.
Trudeau.
Not a couple I care for, to be honest. So,
No, and everybody's saying, "Oh, they look so cute," and they look so cute.
well, you
No,
know what? Good luck. Good luck to them. But it's also like I don't care.
no.
As a couple, if it's real, good luck. But
Well,
and
after the new headlines, I don't know. I don't know. He might just have to
we'll
drop.
see. I don't know. I think it happened, and it is a bad look for her. But she's already kind of been looking like a mess for the past couple of years and done a lot of questionable things. So I don't think it get much worse already. So we'll see. And also because I think if it was somebody else making the accusations, it would be big. But I mean, like
Right.
people are talking about it, but I still don't think they're like considering the allegations. And like, if this was somebody else, if this was like somebody like I don't know, like Pink or something, this would have been like way bigger. I'd be worried for her. But now I'm kind of like, I don't know. We'll see. All
But
right.
this is the thing. But people are they're gonna come out of the woodworks. That's why
Well,
I'm saying this
maybe,
is not a good
maybe.
look. This is not a good look, Trudeau. You don't want to be attached to none of this, friend. I don't care. You want to pull out your joint? That's different, okay, my friend. You don't want to be Listen, sexual assault is the new career destroyer around
Yes, it's
here.
the main. It's the only thing that could
Okay,
destroy your career, and even
right.
that you can get away with.
Even it doesn't matter if you're not the prime minister anymore. You don't want to be, looked at and frowned upon when you are in the streets of Canada. That's all the thing. You
Yeah.
still have to move and shake around those same people that you were once, in charge of, and so.
Although I do kind of feel like he's a little bit bitter with how people turned on him.
He sure is. That's why he dipped out
That's
of
why I think he doesn't care. I
my
actually,
man dipped quick time. He's like,
yeah,
yeah, I'm done. You could take on Mark Carney. That's good. Yeah,
yeah.
good
That's what I
replacement.
get. I get he was kind of like bitter about that, so he's just trying to like maybe this is like a rebellious thing. Who
And I think
knows?
he was bitter because he gave up his entire life.
Yeah, but it was a choice. That's what
It
people in
was a
politics
choice.
do.
No one asked him to sign up, but he did.
Yeah.
So that's his business. But anyway, I don't know. The soft launch wasn't so soft because now we have other problems. We have the future tonight. I don't know.
So, we'll move on to some hard news.
Mhm.
So, supposedly, as of the last couple of days, there's been a ceasefire, with the Strait of Hormuz, with the conflict between Iran and the U.S. and Israel.
Mhm.
And it's been partially open, but the U.S. is still maintaining a strict naval blockade. It's one of those things where things have been changing so quickly, not even day by day, hour after hour. Um, it's kind of like, okay, if there's a ceasefire and the Strait of Hormuz is quote unquote partially open, why is the U.S. having some type of naval blockade of the strait? Like, I don't know. That's like something I wasn't clear on. But you know what? Hey, it's something I did see the gas prices go down a little bit this week. They came down from 180 to about 165. I don't know if they're back to the
Yeah,
ridiculous
I know. It's about that. Yeah, it's about that.
165.
One between, well, I saw earlier today it was like 161
Yeah,
to
so it's come down. So
165 ish, but I heard it was supposed to come down even further, 5 cents as of Friday. But I don't know. I don't.
you don't know, but hey,
Some
listen.
kind of skim.
After seeing it shoot up to 179,
We
listen.
need it under 150, okay? Like we
Well,
need it
that
under
would be ideal,
150.
but we haven't seen that in years.
Oh. No, that's not true.
Actually,
It
no,
was
yeah,
just a
under
while ago.
150.
Just a while ago, it was like
Yeah, yeah, under
116 at one
150
point,
is
and
under
so
150 is good considering what's going on right now.
yes.
But
Well, from my
150.
understanding with what is going on,
Mm,
okay, so the U.S. Okay, there's supposed to be some sort of ceasefire that
yes,
Trump
yeah.
keeps talking about,
Mm,
but the Iranian government doesn't seem to be on the same
no, no,
page.
Trump's talking out of his ass.
Yeah, he's bold face lying into everybody's face, and so I think that United States is trying to. I'm not too sure why they're trying to block anything, but from my understanding, the Iranian government has decided to block all U.S. Ships going in and out of Hormuz. So it's pretty much they're saying everybody else you can use it, but the U.S. And until we reach this mutual decision. At one point, there was a 10-point uh, ceasefire and agreement, and it was. I don't know. I guess they were in
Well, you
talks.
know what? I just went on to the news to see because it's literally we literally can't talk about news from yesterday because literally things
It's
change.
true, and then that's the thing. That's the thing. It changes hour by
So
hour.
as of this afternoon, Iran has closed the strait again.
There you go.
Over the U.S. blockade and fires on ships. So the U.S. Listen, no one is wronging Iran for holding the line because this is one of their biggest bargaining chips is this
Of course.
area. So it's just natural. Listen, in the world, we don't want gas prices to go up, whatever, but just thinking outside and objectively of what is going on over there in the terms of this war, I guess, is they're controlling the one thing they can control that's harming the US economy.
Well, I think the strategy behind it is that eventually it'll be so costly in the United States.
Yeah.
And really, it doesn't take that long. And they've said that even if they open up, right, it still will take a lot.
There's been so much damage. Yeah,
it will take a lot of time to even repair, to bring down prices significantly.
Yeah.
And like we said, fuel is used for everything. Look, we were talking about earlier, birthday flights, and also, fuel affects right down from the toothbrush that you brush your teeth with to right up to the plane tickets that you buy. And so everything is affected. However, I think that the Iranian government is trying to go around. Well, now they've closed it, but at one point they were trying to go around this and let everybody else have access. Unfortunately, the United States is going gung ho on a war that they will not win.
Right?
They won't win because this is working. What they're doing is working. The American people, I heard out in California, was almost $10 a gallon. $10 a gallon? Bruh.
They're going to turn, like, if they won't push back on anything, they're going to push back on what's hurting their pockets.
It's definitely working. And already the U.S. Defense Department has asked Congress for more money. They want $1 trillion.
Yeah, and that's where even MAGA's getting pissed.
Okay, so, and they're like,
even MAGA's like, what?
Come from, sir? Where's
this like Trump? You're getting a little out of hand now, Trump. We didn't want
it coming from. Where is it? Because our economy listen, they want to make us believe that they're not in a recession, but they've been in a recession for the last 6 months.
It's going to happen. It's going to get worse with this.
Okay, $10 a gallon. Okay, here.
And they were saying that they're taking money from health. They're going to take away healthcare. Childcare benefits from the federal level and put it back to the states because they want to pull back money to put back into the war. And Trump said this at a press conference with a straight face, and I was like,
and the thing is, okay, you want to take childcare, but there aren't any jobs. So people don't have anywhere to go. So there is no need for childcare. There's bigger fish to fry. They need jobs. People need jobs. They need jobs. And so Trump said himself, the primary focus right now is this war. That's it. And it's just so sad because Mexico just announced that by 2028 or 2027, the president or the prime minister over there, is it a prime minister? I think so. No, it's a president. President of Mexico is going to have free healthcare across Mexico. Now, how the hell can Mexico and Canada have free healthcare, But you don't have no free healthcare in the United States of the Americas. Yet you have the money from the Americas fighting the war for Israel. And Israel has free healthcare. Can
Right?
you imagine? And then you have the gall to turn around and ask for $1 trillion?
Yeah, American people, Americans, y'all need to rise up, man.
They need to impeach this man as soon as possible. I don't know. My mom says other I don't know. When I talk to my mom and I say, "Why haven't they done something? Why haven't they impeached this man? Why they have every reason to impeach him.
Yeah.
He's committing crimes on a daily basis and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
asking the American people to fund the the criminality. Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
what are we saying here? And we haven't impeached him. And she says to me, he's the Antichrist. He's filling prophecy. He has to fill prophecy, and that's why he's still around.
Did you see
That's why
that post he
nobody's
had to
doing
pull
it.
down where he posted himself as Jesus and
Okay.
even MAGA went
Don't come for
crazy.
the Pope because the Pope told him flat out, I ain't scared of you.
I ain't scared and I ain't scared.
I ain't scared.
I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared.
Okay? The Pope had to tell him straight, I ain't scared.
But anyway, enough.
Right?
Well, that was the update.
But the Iranian people, they have it's working.
Yeah, that's their one leverage, and I can't
It's
wrong them
working.
for using their one big piece of leverage, because that's adding a lot of pressure. It's putting a lot of pressure on the US.
It sure has, and it's to the point where things are going to get real diesel over there. It's going to get real disgusting over there real soon.
Mm-hmm.
And so American people, impeach him. That's all I got to tell you. If you want your gas prices to come down, impeach him.
And not be thrown into another 10-year war for no reason.
Yeah, because he's trying to get troops over there.
Yeah.
He's trying to
get ground troops.
Right? He wants to get ground troops and throw them into this terrain. They have no idea what this terrain is about. The American listen. The Iranian people, they pulled the one ace. They have one or two aces.
They have one or two, but this is a big one.
This is the big ace, okay? And the ace is working.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, all we could do is see where this goes, but I'm already over it. Like,
I'm over it.
We need to get this guy out of office.
They need to get him out of office. I don't know what else needs to transpire for them to say, okay, now's the time. A lot of people are saying, well, this is it. Gas prices is it. Well, really? $10 a gallon? I don't know. In other states, it's even worse. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully something is done. And what I do want to say is the Iranian people they're really practicing grace. They're really practicing grace, because what they could do to the United States at this point, like, I don't think the United States could come back from it. So, yeah, let's see what's going to happen. I mean, it's a day by day, hour by hour. So we'll see what's popping. If gas prices start to come down, then something's popping. I don't know.
Right. Okay, so we'll move on to our last story before we get into into the segment. We're going to talk about Gucci Mane and Offset, a couple of rappers in the hip hop scene who've had some crimes committed against them and been in some dicey situations. So, recently, earlier this month, Pooh Shiesty and his father and some other guys in that crew were arrested for allegedly, I think there's obvious video and everything. It happened for robbing Gucci Mane at gunpoint in a Dallas studio and forcing him to sign a contract release, which is stupid in the first place, because if you sign a contract under duress, it's not. And I mean, you know this, right? So it was kind of like dumb. It was dumb all the way around, because the story with Pooh Shiesty is that he was recently released from jail for another crime, that he's even lucky that he got released early, and he was able to kind of, restart his career, because he was an up and coming rapper who was really making a lot of noise. Everybody loved him. He's one of those more, kind of like the Chicago rappers, but from Memphis, one of those more hood gangster, real life gangster type of rappers. They're all about it for real.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was having a lot of success before he got charged. I can't remember the original crime he got charged for, but he was in jail for a while, at least a couple years, a year and a half or a couple years. And as soon as the man got out, not even 6 months, barely a few months since he got out, he was, I guess what was on his mind is he needed to get out of the contract he had with Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
And him and his boys and his father, whose father is a gang member as well, went down to Dallas's Gucci Mane's office and decided pulling out a gun. Not only pulling a gun and forcing him to sign the contract release, but also stealing his jewelry. Like, it's just stupid all around. And I mean, listen, criminals come in different levels, but I would think somebody who's been in organized crime for a while would have a little bit of sense. I don't know why, but I don't know why, but I did. Maybe it's just the street gangs are not very smart. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, he did that. And there was a video, and Gucci Mane never said nothing. This came out after the police the video started circulating of his friends or whoever who's affiliated with making videos, dummies, with the jewelry they took from, like, Gucci Mane has very identifiable jewelry.
Yeah.
With jewelry we know that is known for a fact to be Gucci Mane's property. So that was one of the big blows. And obviously the people who were in the building, they're in an office building when this happened. Gucci Mane was not the only person present when this incident happened. So the police have statements from those people. And so everybody got picked up real quick.
And somehow these fools still think that Gucci Mane has some sort of say in this process. Like, it's not.
Yeah, and the debate there is outside of this happening, and it's like, oh, it's messed up, and these guys weren't really going to get what they want. It sucks that you're in a bad deal. Don't get me wrong. I'm sympathetic to Pooh Shiesty having a bad deal, but this is just not how you do it. Like, this is a worse way you could have done it. You know what I mean? Because not only is that release nullifiable because it was signed under duress, but now you have to go back to prison.
Dumb all around. It's just stupid all around, if you ask me, because, and I was saying to you that there's this idea in the streets that, somehow Gucci Mane was supposed to stop all of this and not get him caught up in his own actions. Like, you're the one that went there. You're the one that came out of jail and then decided, oh, let me go and commit another criminal act in front of a building full of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, make it make sense. And like, I don't understand what you expected from Gucci Mane. And I don't understand why everybody is on Gucci Mane's neck about it. Mm-hmm. I do see that, his street credibility might be squashed, but maybe
it's gone completely.
But that's what needs to happen. Maybe that's what needs to happen, because that's not where Gucci Mane is anymore. It's not. And this whole facade of this street life and all this shit, honestly, you're going to go back to jail for what, bro? For what? You're still going to be in the contract. You're still going to be in it after all of this.
That's an opening, because following this is where I don't agree, where I do agree with the people criticizing Gucci Mane is he put out this song. Like, to me, in this situation, he just needs to be the best thing he could do is be quiet, because he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't, right?
Exactly.
So he puts out this song called Crash Dummy, which I think is a perfect name for Pooh Shiesty right now. Not gonna lie. And everybody, like all the like hip hop podcasters and thought leaders were like pretty much like cutting up and dissing him for this song. It's not, I didn't listen to it I just looked at the lyrics. I didn't listen to it audibly. So maybe I'll listen to it to see if the criticism, is it that bad. But I just wanted to say the first line to your point on where he says So he starts the verse off saying, "Tell the truth, you went out like a real crash dummy. And and after all that, boy, you still signed to me. Wow. I'm like Birdman and we're nigga, and this is my cash money. And your fat ass flunky, he's stone cold junkie. You know I got my bread up. I always keep my head up. I thought it was a business meeting, but now that it's a setup." And then he goes in to kind of tell the story, and I was like, ooh, I don't like how he should have at least fine if you're going to release this, but you needed to sit on this at least till the first court case. You know what I mean? The court
Right?
appearance. Like, I don't really think this is a good idea.
No, it's not. And you might want to rethink that. But you know what? All these people are all involved in this. Like, it's funny how they'll use contracts and people will sign contracts.
Mhm.
And you don't care about the law, right? You don't seem to care about the law because you're trying to take the law in your own hands. Then what was the point in signing the contract? If you're gonna live lawlessly, then why involve contracts? Contracts are supposed to be reinforced by the law.
Mhm.
So I don't understand the wishy washy with it. Now you might feel like you're in a fucked up deal, but you could have definitely taken that to a lawyer. You,
Right. Anything that
it's
wouldn't.
just the stupidity of it all. Like,
Yeah,
it's just the
crash dummy.
stupidity. Yeah, crash dummy for real. It's appropriate. Why? Because you're handling it still like a crash dummy. Like, the wishy washiness of the use of the law is just really comical for me, because it's like, you're still going to go to jail. You're still in this contract. Like, you still eventually will have to go the better route, which is through the court system, to get yourself out of the contract. Or you're going to have to hire a lawyer now when you should have done it before you signed it. And you're going to have to figure a way out of the contract. And that's all after you do some more time in jail because of the contract. Like, it's just comical to me.
Mm.
It's funny how you think. And here's the thing that I think for Gucci Mane. Yeah, your street cred is out the window, but maybe that's a good thing, because when we were talking about it, you did bring up a good point. He hasn't been in the streets like this in a long time.
Mhm.
Like, Gucci, yes, we know he's hood, we know he's, about that life and stuff like that, but I think his life has changed and he's grown up, and
Yeah, since he
now
got out
he's,
of jail. He got out of
yeah,
jail what, like 5, 6 years
yeah,
ago? Six,
and
seven
his
years ago?
wife made sure, his handler made sure that he was, on the straight and narrow. And now he's older and he wants to be a part of his kid's life, and he has more stability, and he doesn't want to go that route. But in the same breath, like you said, he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't.
Mhm.
So either which way, he's doing what he should do, and he has your ass in a contract, and he's going to enforce said contract. So any type of music that you put out here, he's going to get paid off of that. It doesn't matter how many people you bring by and how many contracts you force him to sign. At the end of the day, it's null and void. So I just wish that, I feel like a real gangster knows how to use the law to their benefit. That's a real gangster. In my eyes, you are smart enough and intelligent enough to use the game and the system to get what you want. Instead, you think that by going and threatening him and pulling up with your dad and the gang is gonna do it. No, because guess what? Guess who's going to jail, fam? And who's still in the damn contract? It's
Right.
sad.
So
It's sad.
So,
Pooh
well, thank
Shiesty.
God nothing permanent happened to Gucci Man. That would have been a tragedy. Just everything now has to just play out in the court like it should have in the first
in
place.
in the first place.
So we'll move on quickly to Offset. He was another hip hop artist who kind of got it tied up into something that is revealing a bigger story. I think the story is, yes, Offset got shot outside of a Florida casino. That's a
Yep.
story by another younger rapper known as Little TJ. But I think the bigger story that has come out of it is Offset has a gambling problem,
Yeah, it sure
a
does.
pretty bad one, like really bad.
And now we're finding out that Cardi B was his sugar mama, because she was the one that was making the bread. She was the one that was keeping the cheese in the house. Okay. He was out here spent. I saw a clip of Offset, and he had the gall. He had $1 million in a bag, okay, and he says, "Oh, if we blow it, then we laugh it off."
Mm-hmm.
Really?
That sounds like a real gambler. That's a real gambler speak. That
We
sounds like
laugh it
real
off, and we go re
gambler
up. We go
speak.
re up our money, and we have a next bag of money. That's why you
He
try.
needs to be investing in businesses and not the casino.
Okay. No, but
Okay.
here's the thing is that Offset, your name I'm hearing in the streets is not as good as we think it is because you owe every Tom, Dick,
It
and
sounds like he owes a
Harry
lot of people money.
a lot of
That was the
money,
more interesting side of the story for me.
right?
Because first of all, it seems like he just owed this kid. Like they
Okay.
said it was just over supposedly, which I hope is not the case. So supposedly it's over 10K specifically with this kid,
Yeah.
which is pretty
Yeah.
sad.
And look at you too. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
It's
Sad.
pretty sad for if this is. I hope it's not over just 10K, but that is a number being floated around because of some texts that have surfaced online. But I do hope, since those texts said it was more for him to pull out a gun on somebody. Like I hope you're not pulling a gun on somebody for 10K. These are
Well,
not. These are
supposedly he
people
got
who.
into a fight and
Mm,
the person had or somebody pulled out a gun in the scuffle and
mm.
shot him in the backside.
Oh,
But
okay, it wasn't necessarily the kid.
no, but Cardi
Mm,
came to his rescue
mm,
and she cleared up his debt with the casino.
mm.
So, and I
The
think
thing is, there's so many stories circling about
yeah,
like that.
I don't know how true that is either. And I don't
Yeah,
know
who
if she's
knows? Maybe,
good,
but I think that he has such a problem. That was one casino. It's sounding like he's been going around all the casinos. He can't even be in Vegas. This happened in Florida casinos, so all the Vegas casinos probably already know about him.
right?
So now he's going to the casinos in the other states. It's seeming like I'm like that. It's tragic because okay, he's safe, great. And again, I got past the shooting. It happened. It's unfortunate, right? But um I think it's sad to hear that he has such an intense gambling problem. It's sounding really bad. Like he's like going to the casinos asking for 500,000 in upfront money.
You know how you know it's bad when there there are clips all around going around about Offset sleeping with Selena Powell, which is a
Hmm.
pass around in the industry,
Yeah.
and getting 10 grand from her.
Right? Oh, like you
Borrowing
see?
10 grand
Yes, I
from
heard
the
about that.
industry hoe. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when you know things is tight.
Yeah. You're asking the hoe for 10,000?
Okay, what you have to do to get the hoe to give you $10,000? So now you're pimping yourself out for 10 grand so you can go up in the casino. Wow, it's really bad.
And it's and the thing is gambling, if you don't get help, it's probably 10 times worse when you're considered quote unquote wealthy, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
you just think like you mentioned about that quote, oh, I do a show here, do a show here, I can get $1 million, right?
yeah.
But the thing is, people are gonna get, especially a hip-hop artist, for let's say any artist that's popular, but more than less a hip-hop artist, you if you look at all like the average artists, because to me hip Offset is an average artist, like
Yeah,
average in that he's
without the
okay,
Migos,
he'll make some
definitely.
decent
Yeah,
songs, he has the fashions, he has the looks, he has the whatever, but you're most artists after 7 years, 7 8 years, it's a flash in the pan. You have
first of
some,
all, he's not with Amigos anymore. Okay, there's no
right?
Migos. Migos
No
is gone.
Migos, because Migos was
Okay,
his claim to fame.
that sure was okay. And if that group was still together and was still,
He'd have something,
he would
yes.
have something because the
Yeah.
Migos name, sorry, Offset, it carried more weight
Yes.
than Offset. And to
Yes.
be quite honest, Offset didn't really make a name until Cardi was behind that. So let's just be real. Let's keep. I understand Offset had a little steam. He had a little steam.
Hmm.
But when him and Cardi got together, she just propulsed forward.
Hmm.
And he rode on that for the longest time. until now, where they're now apart, and you can see his name is not anything anymore. To me,
I won't
yeah,
say
it
it's
might
not anything, but it's definitely
well
fizzling
in the
out.
industry, yeah, it probably carries a little weight because people want to get to know the people you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or to have the connections that you might have. So those type of, yeah, people
Yeah.
might put up
But
10
I
grand.
definitely see the downfall. Let's just put it that way. Like I think yes, he does might have still carry some clout, but now that this is coming out, and again, he could still have something in the chamber for music or whatever. But and it's all I'm coming to say is that it's not going to last long. He can't afford to have a gambling problem. Long
No,
story
he
short,
can't.
he cannot afford to have this
Going
type of
through a
gambling
divorce,
problem
for flip's sakes. Like, he's going through a divorce.
and a divorce and just all
He
this
has
stuff.
how many damn children?
And he
Like,
has
he has
lots
how
of
many
kids,
damn
not just the three
children?
kids with Cardi. He has other
Okay.
kids too.
He has, I think, a total of 6 with 3 different baby mothers, if I'm correct, including Cardi. So,
Mm-mm.
like, yeah, yeah. And maybe that's why he's gambling, because he's
Mm.
trying to make that money back. He's
Well,
trying
I
to get
hope he
that
has some
kid.
legitimate businesses on the side and investments going on outside of his gambling problem. But usually, people with this problem
You know what's
use all their money
interesting?
for the
And
gambling.
I
But
know it's a side note, but you see, Quavo,
mhm.
there was rumors that at one point Offset slept with Sweetie, which
Yes,
was Quavo's girlfriend.
hmm
And I just find it very funny how they had such a brothership. They
hmm
had such a like a brotherhood.
hmm
And Offset's going through it. And you don't hear not a peep from Quavo.
mm.
Not a peep. Not a, keep your head up. Not
Nope.
a peep from Quavo. And I feel like it's because there's some validity to that claim.
I think they have a lot of bad blood. Competition, maybe women, but I think
I'm
it's
sorry, Quavo was a better rapper than
oh
Offset.
yeah, Quavo was the out of the three of them, Quavo was the one who was getting all the features before all of them, before as a group. So I thought Quavo was gonna be the big solo artist, and he
Right?
kind of did have his moment, but you're right, because I think Offset became more interesting when he kind of connect when him and Cardi were a thing.
Yeah.
And then so because of his connection to Cardi, fashion houses were interested in him. He just got a lot more exposure.
Yeah.
And so I think that's how Offset kind of came out in front. But Quavo was the guy who was
That's what I'm
like,
saying. Yeah. Yeah.
but anyway, we're lingering here. But
yeah.
hopefully Offset can get it together. But and he's healed. He's already kind of walking again and posting up. So God bless. But
Hmm.
he's gonna have to kind of get some help for that problem.
Yeah, I think so. I think you need to.
So, oh boy. So we'll jump into our first segment. We're just doing 2 segments. We're going to do this and and then end off on a call out, have a little bit of fun, hopefully. So we'll start off with Wagwan for real.
Yes, Wagwan for real.
And so, this one's kind of, a little bit heavy but important. We had to talk about it, especially as we forefront and talk about Black Women's History Month here in April.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that's a crisis right now. And I would say there is a crisis of femicide against Black women. And we're not just my neck just did a wrong twist right there. Ooh. It's not just femicide against women traveling. Our 2 stories are going to be talking about 2 Black women who
Yeah.
ended up dead after going on a trip. But also, there was a story, Nancy Metayer in Florida, who was a mayor of a Florida town, up and coming, who was probably going to be running for Senate, and her husband killed her.
Yep.
There's just been a bunch of stories in the last 2 months and there's a big one that happened recently with an he was a lieutenant governor in the United States. He killed his wife and himself.
Yep.
It's another one. So there's a crisis of femicide going on with Black women. And femicide has always been kind of underreported.
Yep.
In most countries. It's even more, I think it's underreported in the US, but it's also barely reported in the countries where it's very prevalent, which is, Caribbean and Africa. It's also very huge there, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And a femicide is essentially the intentional murder that exclusively targets women or girls because of their gender, and it usually gets mixed up into domestic violence, and I think that's why it's underreported in the US and most likely here in Canada as well. But essentially, it is femicide.
Yep.
100%. So first we'll talk about Miss Ashlee Jenae. This is a big story. Her real name is Ashlee Richardson, I believe. She's a Miami influencer who was found dead in her hotel room after going on a trip with her, I guess, fiance, her white fiance. His name is Joe McCann. He claims it was a suicide, and no one is buying that.
Nope.
No one is buying that because a few hours earlier that night, the last time they were seen together, they were having a big fight in their hotel room, and the hotel staff had to separate them. It was so bad. The hotel staff said, "Listen, go in a different room. We can't have this." Right? A few hours later, I guess, I'm still not sure the sequence of events with how they found her.
Me too.
But the main thing that's questionable is whether it was the husband who found her or the hotel staff. I'm not sure.
I thought it was the hotel staff.
I think it's the hotel staff. It's just because I'm not sure. I don't want to think.
But I have seen stories also where it talks about him finding her first and then calling the hotel staff to the room. But
okay,
so I don't know.
Yes, exactly. So they're saying that McCain, the claim from him that's out there is he claims he found her, and then everything kind of went from there, right?
Yeah. Then he called the staff. Yeah, that's what.
So,
but
he
then
did
I also
when he found
then I
her.
also heard a story that the hotel staff found her first.
Yeah. See, so we're not sure, but either way, she was found unconscious in her room, hanging. And so they said they initially called it a suicide by hanging. That's what the police said, right?
Right.
And so everybody, when the news broke, was like, absolutely not.
Yep.
People, because she was very popular online. She was a very popular creator and influencer on social media. Celebrities know her. And literally a couple days before, they showed the video of her it's her birthday. It's her 30th or 31st birthday, as well as, somebody she was dating for a little bit
for a year
proposed to her. So you get in a fight, you're just gonna off yourself. And you said something else so interesting, by hanging.
Come on now.
Usually women, I hate to say this, especially if they're in, but it's just, it's dark. We're already on the dark topic, but usually women, especially if they're in distress and it's like an emotional response to something that's happening when they're harming themselves. It's gonna be pills. It's gonna be pills.
Everything other than hanging.
Right. Okay. Everything other than hanging.
Statistically, a woman who commits suicide is not going to hang herself. It will be through pills, maybe alcohol, and maybe as far as maybe in a car, like riding off of the road.
Yes. Substance, alcohol, and then
at the very darkest of it all, it's never really hanging. That is usually men.
Yeah, and the hanging theory is also kind of like, okay, so let me go back to the sequences. So, he did, at the time that she was discovered, he called the family and said, "Oh, she's in the hospital. Something happened." He's not giving much details, but that's what he tells her. Then a few hours later, they don't hear from him again for another 11 hours, which well past that they announced her death.
Lord God.
11
hours. Oh, what the
Yes.
hell you had
So,
to?
so they didn't hear again from him for 11 hours. And in between that 11 hours, obviously she was announced dead. So the family was kind of hurt that they weren't kept in the loop of what was really going on. And he was pretty vague also when they first, when he first called them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so they, and hearing them talk to the press now, that's what happened. The interesting, and so this young lady has died, and since then, everybody has been, trying to put their. We have our internet detectives on the case, but
Right?
also the push. Even the local Tanzanian people have come online to be like, listen, America, human rights. Even I saw a human rights company organization release a statement from their South African chapter to be like,
Mm-hmm.
please, US people have external investigators. Said Tanzania have external investigators, like the local police. Basically, the T is the fine print in the messaging is don't trust the Tanzanian police to handle this properly.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And which is unfortunate because supposedly, I mean, I watched a video from Jessie Wu
Mm-hmm.
and she was
Me
talking about
too.
the case, but okay, let's go with the story that this guy is actually wealthy. I don't know, he's looking kind of like a scam artist to me, but
Yeah. True.
let's go with the story that he's actually wealthy. If he I'm sure he has some money. I don't know. I don't think he's like some multimillionaire, but he's probably has some money. He could bribe these countries. I'm African. I'm Caribbean. I could say the
Yeah.
police in these places are
Bribe.
very easily bought off.
Yeah. Bribe.
They are
Bribe.
very easily bribed, and so if they want to, if he wanted to manipulate the story and have some things on his side, he could very well get away with that. So I did wanted to, yeah, I was finding the letter from the
Yeah,
human
but
rights.
there's too much pressure behind it because of
Yeah,
who she is.
he can't. Yeah, there's too much pressure because
So it
there's.
doesn't matter how much money he has, and it doesn't matter how much he tries. This is international now.
It's internet. Yeah, so that's the thing. Unfortunately, it's people who are more I guess famous or visual to the um world that because if she was a regular woman, yeah, I do think this could have got pushed under the rug. Unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. It would have. But she's not an ordinary girl. And first of all, I just want to say I don't believe the hype. I don't think that this young lady, in anything that I've seen of her, because I did do a little bit of digging,
Mm-hmm.
that she was depressed in any sort of way.
Mm.
It did not seem very obvious that she has mental instabilities.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed to love life.
And people would know, like she's so
Yeah,
popular.
well,
People
just
there
in
would.
the brief that I seen her, I
Mm.
mean, yes, the way you look, she's coming across, she's on a channel, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. However, there's things that people will say to clue you in to what they're thinking in their head.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't display any of that in anything that I saw. Not only that, she's in Africa. If she wanted to do all of that, she would have stayed her ass on home.
Right.
Okay, she wouldn't have gone to an unfamiliar country, unfamiliar territory in the middle of the jungle while we're feeding giraffes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay,
Right.
while we're feeding giraffes out our window. Okay, to do all of that, I don't think so. Also, she was just engaged, and so a woman is at her like at her happiest in that moment.
Yeah.
She's just the man that she loves, and they were together for a year. you know Obviously she felt comfortable enough with him to be going all the way into the depths of the Africa,
Mm-hmm.
okay, with the giraffes. Like, they're engaged. Why would she fight or no fight? I don't see herself wanting to hang herself, so I don't believe the hype with that.
Mm.
Second, this man looks very sketchy. Just in his profession alone, he's sketchy enough for
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
His business practices are very questionable.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that type of mindset, anything is kind of possible if you're, mischievous and devious and untrustworthy in business. Most business people will say you're like that in your regular life. And
Mm-hmm.
he looks a little sketchy. The fact that he didn't communicate with her family
Yeah,
in,
all of that is strange.
a
The fact
timely
that the
fashion.
family has to put together money. So if this guy is so what he's projecting himself to be, he would have been able to be like, okay, let's bring her like you know what I mean. All of
Well,
this
if
would
you
have been.
have money like
Mhm.
that, then why aren't you having her body and yourself transported to the first autopsy available in the United
The
States?
United
This
States,
is a
yeah.
man who just asked this woman to be his wife, and he is not moving like a man that gives two shits about her.
That's the thing. Yep, all of it. So that brings me to so since all of this has come out and the outcry, the public outcry, we have human rights organizations calling for independent investigation and all that in between. Joe McCann's passport has been confiscated from Tanzanian police
Good.
authorities, which is good. That's one thing. So he has to stay there.
And
But
obviously, sorry, I just want to note
yeah,
that everybody is against the Tanzanian police. And yes, they might be able to be bought off, especially since that, whatever.
mm, mm,
I get it. But they are holding him.
yes,
So they are
that's a good
investigating.
sign. Yes,
And so let's not just throw the Tanzanian police right
not yet, at
underneath the
least.
damn bus quite yet. Okay, let's give them a little bit of credit for keeping the man in the damn country and saying,
Mhm.
nah, white man, something don't look right. Something don't look right. So let's hope that they have had enough pressure on their ass where they're like, nah, fam, we can't let you go. You know how this will look for Tanzania? No, we can't let you go.
Right. So yeah. So good. The good thing is the pressure is forcing them to be very rigorous in this, and hope and we're praying for justice for real name Ashlee Robinson and comfort for her family. So
Yes.
R.I.P. to her.
Yes.
We'll move on quickly to the second story. Not necessarily femicide, but definitely questionable. Um, behavior while black woman while traveling.
I'm
I'm a
telling
black woman
you.
who loves to travel myself. Ladies, we have to be smart. We have to be smart.
Yes. Just have some
So
no.
Denisha Delancy is a Miami resident and went to visit Saint Martin with her sister for her sister's birthday. So after a night of clubbing,
Right?
they meet a guy named Quincy, and who's a suspected he's Trinidadian nationalist who is living in Saint Martin, and who's suspected allegedly a drug kingpin, and they decided to take a ride with him instead of their driver. So it looks like they were going to continue the night, but Denisha's sister is dropped off at their
Yeah.
hotel or Airbnb, wherever they happen to be. And after they were going to the Denisha and Quincy were continuing to probably another destination, a club. I think they were going to another club.
Yep.
His SUV was ambushed on the road and shot up. And unfortunately, not only did Quincy die, but so did Denisha.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
She from based on what I know the story, she was clearly, he didn't do any harm to her. He was just a target because of his lifestyle. And unfortunately, she was with the wrong person on
Yep.
that island and lost her life as an innocent bystander.
Mm.
And ladies,
Ugh.
this girl was not 22. Not that there's any excuse either way, but I feel this was a 29-year-old woman.
Please on.
And sometimes when we go on vacation, I get it, especially if you go with your girls, you're extra frisky.
I'm
You're a
saying.
little extra frisky, but you have to remember you don't know these people.
You don't even know the damn country you
You don't
in.
know the country, you don't know the
What
people, you
are
don't know
we
nothing.
doing?
So to me,
Lord.
just fine, you want to hang out and flirt at the club. After the club, I'm good. But I know some people want to get frisky, but they're risky. To me, you're playing with your lives.
Right?
You are playing with your life.
I
Every
just
time you decide to do that and you live, God bless you. But no,
okay.
man. Not me, at least. Maybe because I'm older, but not never.
Well, she was older too. 29 is old enough to know.
Yeah, 29 is old enough to know. I can't even give her the bly, to
I
be honest.
can't. Not with the
I
nah,
can't. Not
fam.
at 29.
That's why I had to like
So
try
that's
to rationalize
but it's
it.
so funny because it is behavior that's common, and sometimes, and I've seen girls, and I've even traveled with girls who've done that, and I'm like, wow, not I, just
Not
not
I,
my
fam.
mother. I can't. I don't want my mother weeping over me, so
Nah,
I can't.
fam. Nah, fam.
Those are just
Listen,
not
there ain't
chances I
no
take.
type of fun that would require me to first leave the people that I came with,
Mm,
to in a country that I don't know, okay, with a man I just met. What are we doing?
mm,
Girls. Listen, we should be able to go wherever we want to go, but we have to think with some sense. It does not make any sense to me as to why a young lady would first want to leave her younger sister alone, okay, to go off with a man in a country that you don't know, okay, to go up to any sort of club. It's not that serious.
yeah,
Now, a
because
lot
you
of
guys
people,
already went out. Technically, you
this is
had.
what I'm saying. You're coming back from the club.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you,
And
for
even if she
real?
wanted to get frisky in the hotel, your room, you have your room, your sister has her room. Then, if you really want to push the boundaries, that's as far as it
Okay.
goes. That's as far. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But come
I
on now,
just don't
girl.
understand why. And so there are a lot of speculations I've been seeing.
Mm,
And I don't like to speak ill of the dead. I don't. But the speculations are saying this had to have been a money thing. This had to have
okay.
been like, why would you want to leave again after just dropping off your sister by herself? It was just two young ladies that are
Yeah.
out here in these streets in a
Yeah,
country that they
he
don't
promised her
know.
something. He promised her
He
something.
had to have. There
Hmm.
has to be a please let there be more of a reason than some peeing up in here,
Right?
because you could get that anywhere, girl. Like you don't
Girl.
really need to go far. Okay?
No.
Like for real, you could stay on the resort. You know
She could stay in Miami and just
the
shoot.
hell? Okay.
So I mean,
Like
yeah,
find a corner if that's the case. Like
it's a tragic loss for her family
I just
because
hope to God that's not the reason. Like I
I
have to believe that there was something other than that, because girl,
but either way,
really?
she, her a mother, a family lost their daughter and their sister, and either way,
And
whatever
that
it
poor
was.
girl, can you imagine her sister?
Although the revelation, yeah, the sister's probably so guilty. Oh,
What?
poor lad. But the revelation is Saint Martin. Saint Martin. I didn't know this was going down on Saint Martin. I thought that was a safe place. What the
Okay.
hell? This is making me look at
Which
Saint
side they
Martin a
on?
little
The Dutch
different.
side? Which
The
side they
Dutch, yeah,
on?
the Dutch side, yeah, Saint Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Dutch side. So now I know.
Okay.
So I have to avoid the Dutch side.
Avoid the Dutch side. Stay on the French side, I'm telling you.
But yeah, so RP to Denisha Delancy. Just all we could look at this as something to learn from. I mean, now I'm older. Yeah, these are not stunts I would pull. Nothing is worth my life, and that's sometimes some people. I don't know, but nothing's worth my life. This is just no, 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 no.
No. And
So
it's sad that she did go, because now she's lost, that she's gone. And a lot of how they were actually found is they thought it was an accident, but it wasn't. They
yeah,
got into
they
an
found the
accident
bullet
because they were
holes.
shot to death.
Yeah,
So RIP to her, and prayers up for her family, because I don't even know how they're going to process that, and particularly her sister. Prayers go out to you, girl, because I don't know. For me, I would have tried a lot harder to just make sure she stay, or make sure we don't go. But you know what? I say that because the people that I roll with, we learn from early out. We go where when we go somewhere together, we leave the same place together. We
Mm-hmm.
ain't no doing no partsies. There's no, oh, you randomly walk off. And because I remember a few people that were like that in my life, and I'm sorry, I just can't go out with girls like that, man.
No, yeah, no. That's what I say. I brought up, I did a girl trip, and I know the girls who did that, and thank God they ended up safe and
Yeah.
everything. They even all had long-term relationships,
Okay.
I'm just like, I don't know if that's worth the risk. That's too risky for me. Mm.
Right? And so, well, you know what? This is a time for us black women and women in general who are travelers to just be more cautious. Like you want to have fun and you want to go home safely. That is the goal. So, you might not get your rocks off this time, okay? Or you might have to have the person come into your safe space if you're going
Mm-hmm.
to be that adventurous. But be cautious, be aware of where your surroundings, understand that you're not from that country, like you're not
Mm-hmm.
from that part, or you just shouldn't be doing what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. You shouldn't be doing what you're doing. You shouldn't be doing,
Mm-hmm.
you know uh yeah. But anyway, I do hope that her family, can help process this. But there's definitely a femicide going on all around us, and the question is wagwan for real, because why the femicide? Like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, everybody's trying to, like, I don't know, every minute I turn around and I'm hearing these stories after story after story, and it's like, what's happened?
Mm.
What is really going on? Because this ain't right. This
Yeah,
ain't right.
you have to be more vocal about these stories of black femicide, and call it for what it is.
Right? Well, you know what? In the meantime, let's move on into our next episode then. Or sorry, our next segment. And that is the call
They
outs.
call out.
Yes, and we're gonna put each other in the hot seat, ask each other a question that has to be answered. So my question is pertaining to what we were discussing a little bit earlier, that this is Women's Black History Month. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in this 10-year anniversary, I want to ask the question, where the hell is the hype? Where is the
Right?
hype? Jeanette, where's the hype? Because they hype up every goddamn thing, everything else. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the hype? Now, I understand it's only a decade, but it's still a decade.
Mm-hmm. We're on our own. We're on our own.
So the question is, where is the hype? Where do you think the hype is? Why isn't this just as big of a month that, like, say, the LGBTQ month is? Or, I don't know, is it too close to Black History Month? Like, where's the hype? So I'm going to try to answer the question.
Okay.
And, I hate that it has to be, but, Black women are on the lowest, we're on the lowest part of the totem pole. And this is a reflection, because other than Black women hyping this up, ain't nobody else hyping this up. Ain't
Ain't
nobody
nothing.
else
There's
talking
nothing new
about it.
there. Nothing new there.
Okay? And so I feel that it's just because it's about Black women. Period.
Exactly. Period.
That's it. That's all. That's the only reason. Because and as a Black woman, right? I too didn't know. So I am convicting myself here today too.
Mm.
Okay? That I didn't know. And then I had to ask myself, how comes? How comes, fam? How comes? Why isn't this as publicized? And I said, okay, well, you know how it go with us Black women. They don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to give us nothing. Okay, they don't want to hype us up for nothing. Even though we have had significant contributions to the world around us. I mean, if you really think about it, the oldest fossil is of a Black woman. Interesting, isn't it? Like, this is like, it is said that all people come from Black women. So if we're gonna go that far, like the contribution is deep. Why is it only 10 years old? Why isn't it hyped up? Why isn't it celebrated? Why isn't it mentioned more? I don't see it mentioned in the media that often or at all. And it's purely because we're black. So do you have an answer for that? Like, why do you think,
Well,
other than,
while you were speaking, I kind of went on the site and took a look. So first of all, it's not a national thing. There's a few states have made the proclamation. Georgia, Washington D.C., I would say a handful of states based on what I see on this. So first things first, it's not national.
But why?
I know what you mean. That shouldn't affect awareness, because we as a people,
that's what I'm saying. Where's the hype?
If we exist, we needed to. We got it proclaimed in a few states. So why didn't the people of those states put it out there, make enough noise, and maybe it could go national? They need a lot of noise for it to go national.
That's why I'm saying.
So that's why we don't know, and it is an American, United States proclamation in terms of the month. It's not a North America thing or anything else. So I think we just need more creators bringing it up. Unfortunately, it sounds messed up, but I mean, like, people don't watch TV anymore, so we're only going to really get this information online. And so that's why we have to commend. Listen, Jessie Woo got 3 shout-outs. I have to shout her again.
Okay,
Jessie Woo, the influencer and creator. Jessie Woo, props to her for calling out. We need more people, and not just women, the men too.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
But that's to tell you the misogyny, misogyny against black women. Black women at the bottom of the totem pole. It sucks to say, but all evidence points to that in terms of respect and value and everything like that. That's just what the actions tell me. I don't claim it, but that's what I see,
Because football, the Super Bowl is not like international holiday or an international thing. It's just pertaining to the United States mostly.
Yes.
So, but look, everybody.
But they invest a lot of money into making it a global thing.
But how do we get the Super Bowl to be that? Like, at one point, the Super Bowl. First of all, we have to think back. The Super Bowl wasn't that big, especially the halftime show,
until after Michael Jackson went on.
Thank you. Okay,
straight up early 90s.
And then the Wayans brothers were smart enough. They monopolized off of it and had a show right after.
Yeah. And that's why they had to bring Michael Jackson on.
But that wasn't that long ago, Jenae.
Yeah, early 90s.
Maybe 20, 30 years ago?
About 30 years ago.
Right. So look at how big it is. Right? And so I understand that Black women have had contributions internationally.
Yeah.
Right? And we even have an International Women's Day.
I think the answer is very obvious. It's only we're the ones who are going to make it a thing. Nobody else will.
But maybe you are right in terms of it's not mentioned enough, because maybe that's the way the movement that has to happen, is that it has to be mentioned enough and more places adapt to it and include it in their celebrations, their yearly celebrations, because I just found that this has been going on for 10 years and we just now Anyhow, what is your question for me?
My question on the theme of Black Women's History Month is, we have been very influential in just the culture of things, and I was gonna say we've dictated the fashion trends for many, many decades. So I was going to ask, which black girl trend from I'll say up into the past 40 years, so up into the 80s, up until now, that you are glad is back, or you think is a staple? It was a staple in today's like fashion, like it's still a thing. Like there's some classic fashion things that never went away, and we contribute to a lot of them. I'll start.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a mainstay, and I'll have one that's kind of like it came and went.
Okay.
So the mainstay, the consistency one is, I would say, and this is Black women, but it's kind of mixed with men. Women specifically, I guess I would say, um, the nails
Okay.
and the hoop earrings.
Okay.
Those specifically women, but really what I was going to say is the integration of streetwear into high fashion.
Yes.
But because it's not just women, I mean, Black men obviously contributed to as well.
Yeah.
But I think a big one is how we can wear something that's considered leisure or quote unquote athletic or streetwear, but then style it up to make it look like high fashion.
Yeah.
And then obviously the nails, acrylic nails. Sorry, Black women, Flojo.
Okay.
Now everybody wants to be into big nails. They were used to make fun of Black women and talk down on them,
and all the rest.
but everybody, the high fashion, the men and the women now,
okay,
with the long acrylic nails.
Exactly.
White men.
Yeah, it's become an accessory to the outfit, like the nails and the style, and then
yes, and then the trendy one from the 90s, which what I would say is the bag for specifically for women, was the baggy pants and like the halter top.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think a staple, or you said a homestay, or
like a home, one that's like it started like what's still, but it's still in rotation somehow, some way. Yeah.
Braids. I would say braids.
Yes, good one.
I think braids has never. I think actually braids has evolved significantly. Now we have the boho braids.
A lot. Everybody with the boho.
Everybody and their mother with the bohos. Okay, but but look at the elevation of braids, because I have seen it on the runway. Who was it again? Was it Zendaya? And she had the braids, and she was on the red carpet in the nice, pretty ass dress. Remember? And they were all like, "Oh, that hair."
No, she had. It was dreads.
It was a dread, right? But that is inspired off of braids.
Yeah, the extensions of long, some kind of extension. Yeah,
faux locks. They were right? Faux locks. That's the evolution of braids for me.
Yes, it's an evolution for sure.
Yeah, and so I think braids definitely.
I agree, totally. Good one.
Yeah. Also, I would say something that him.
What is it? Why are you holding back?
Okay, sorry everybody out here, but the BBL. Okay. The BBL.
You know what? You're right though.
The BBL is out the door, down the street. Okay,
the BBLs are coming to here in Toronto, boy.
I've seen some, and I was like,
it's not the Black girls. It's not just the Black girls. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you. Okay, you have some of these Persian girls up here,
right?
Okay, with the BBLs.
I heard my friend talk about a Pakistani girl who was openly talking about it. I was like, what?
Don't play. But I do feel like that direction of that false imagery of body, like I think that whole idea is exiting stage left.
Oh yeah,
and I'm so glad it is, because
natural is coming back.
Yeah, I think natural never really left.
No, it's never. Yeah, it's a staple.
It was a staple, right? However, I think the natural body was like exaggerated so much, like, because some of these shapes that you'll see, there are some women that have that natural body, that have that booty, that really take care of their bodies. Yeah. Like, we know somebody who was a track star in university who had that shape. She was very muscular, but had that aesthetic. Right. And it was natural for her. So there are some women. So I feel like it was always there. However, it was just really just exaggerated.
Yeah. When we talk about, because the thing is, you can look natural and not be natural. You know what I mean?
That's the difference, right? And
but I think what you're saying is that people just, it's the exaggeration, that's the exaggerated look that's out
Yeah,
now.
that it looks to the point that you look unreal. Like you
Yeah.
look cartoonish.
So that was a good one though. You had that's. I'm glad you said it. That is a good one because
Yeah, I'm glad
I've
that
been.
BBL business is gone too because I can't. Okay.
It's not gone, but it's dying. It's definitely not gone.
Well,
Fully.
I feel like maybe it hasn't died, and I don't know if it ever will. But I
You know
think
what
the
I think it
idea
is?
of
You know how
looking more
people,
natural.
you know how trends die, like trends start with the celebrities, right?
Yeah,
Whoever
yeah.
the celebrities are, they happen to be more social media people. Whoever the people are looking at, they start there, and there's like a good, I think, at least couple years before it trickles down to the
Right.
normal folk. So the normal folk are really still into it, but in the next, but all the celebrities, like you said, the fake, the big exaggerated breasts and booty is out.
And
But
I'm sure
it's
that
going to
they're
take a
still
couple
doing.
years
They're
for the.
probably still doing procedures, but they're
Oh, they're
trying
doing
to
procedures.
less
Yes,
exaggerated, like
yes. We're not
more
the
real.
ridiculous
Yeah,
donk is out.
yeah, it's just gone.
So yes, and it will trickle down eventually to the normal folk in the
Yes, and
next year or two.
I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad it's gone because that doesn't, I don't know. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over. And if women are still doing it, they're not aiming to have that exaggeration anymore. They're aiming to have a natural look. And so, and also I want to, my runner up would be makeup trends because I'm not really a makeup girly. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I do enjoy looking at makeup being done or a nice face. And I find the more natural aesthetic is more of what people are trying to attain. Less,
Yeah, the contouring is
yeah,
getting out now. They're getting rid of the
yeah, not too
contouring.
much contour, more bright face, you know, well rested look instead of this invented face. But I mean, to each their own out there. But here in the Black Women's History Month, we do want to emphasize that all Black women out here, we are beautiful as we are, whether we want to do this or that to our bodies. We are beautiful people. We are trendsetters, and we are all of the above, right? And I'm not taking away from anybody else, but today we gonna celebrate the
Black
Black
Women History
woman
Month. We're trying to put it on the map.
in the Black History Month. Okay, so when you hear Jesse Wu saying it, check the month. It might just be April. It might just be Black History in the Black History Month. Okay, and so with all that said, we do hope that your hearts and minds were activated on this week's show. So whether you lead with your heart or your mind, please stay passionate and thoughtful. We'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye.
Bye.